Here's why arming teachers is a good idea. Let's see something.
Start with this from News Channel 5 here in Nashville. A bill that would allow some Tennessee teachers to carry a gun at school is heading to Governor Bill Lee's desk. HB 1202 SB 1325 has drawn heavy attention from parents, teachers, students, and law enforcement. The bill would allow specially trained teachers to carry handguns in their classrooms. Under the bill, parents would not know whether their child's teacher was armed or not. This bill has been on hold for about a year. Originally, it was introduced by Representative Ryan Williams and Senator Paul Bailey in January. For those teachers wanting to carry a gun in school, it is a multi-step process. Teachers wanting to carry will have to have, one, written authorization from the principal, the superintendent, and the head of law enforcement in their city or county. Two, complete 40 hours of basic training in school policing and 40 hours of post-commission approved training that is specific to school policing each year to keep the authorization. Three, must obtain a background check. And four, undergo a psychological exam conducted by a Tennessee licensed psychologist.
So let's get into that. I kind of want to, what's my take on that? I heard about that and I wasn't too sure how I felt about it initially. I honestly haven't really had a chance to even think it all the way through, honestly. But my initial reaction to the idea of teachers being able to carry guns in the classroom, backed off of everything we know of school shootings. I think back to some of the notorious school shootings that history has seen already, American history has already seen. Would those situations have gone any differently if teachers were strapped? I try to think about the pros and cons, right? So, of course, if word gets out around among students that, hey, Miss Johnson has a Glock 49 tucked away under her desk, could that be a problem? I have been seeing a growing sense of students being disrespectful to teachers, even harming teachers, punching teachers, yelling, being belligerent towards teachers. If you know your teacher got some firepower in her purse, you may be least likely to puff up and be disrespectful towards him or her. So I don't know. That also, also thinking as well too, let's say in a school shooting situation, that would cause teachers to be heroes or teachers to have to step up to the plate. So if word goes out, hey, there's a school shooter on campus, does that mean automatically all the teachers with guns reach for their firearms and go on the offense to defend their students and other faculty members? I don't know, man. As somebody who believes in the Second Amendment, as somebody who does believe in the right to bear arms, I don't know. I guess my hesitancy in saying yay or nay is the idea that it could go right or wrong in any situation, right? Maybe outside of a school situation as well too, where there is people who are armed and who have the opportunity to protect others. In a school, though, I really don't know, man. I want to say, let's think. How would you feel? I'm gonna pose a question to you guys, the viewer. How would you feel if you were sending your child, let's say elementary school, middle school, high school? What are the cases? Let's say you're sending your child off to school, and as you saw, of course, the teacher, you saw the requirements, which I do agree were some worthy requirements. Of course, thorough level of background check, 40 hours of, some level of training, this, that, and the other. Got to get signed off by the superintendent, police department, whatever the case is in your county. So a thorough, it's not like it's just any old teacher can elect to, pick up a gun and decide to start taking it to school. There is a procedure that's in place that sees to it that those who are in possession of those guns are somewhat competent, right? So I do like that idea. And again, just thinking back to American history and some of the events that we've seen with school shootings, would those situations gone any differently if teachers were also packing the heat? I don't know, man. I wouldn't say, yeah, best case scenario. But then we're already not paying teachers enough as is. So if I'm a teacher and I'm choosing for my own safety to bring a firearm to school, and in the event of a school shooting, you are then maybe expecting me to save the lives of my students and other faculty members, then you got to pay me more. I spoke on this before as well, too. Wages in this country are stupid. Whoever sits down, whatever committee or government or whatever the case is, sits down and determines the wages of some of these professions, we need to revisit that. Revisit the wages of our doctors or our nurses. Revisit the wages of our, the people that handle our food, as I always say, at the fast food restaurants. Reconsider the wages of our teachers, the people that are in charge of teaching your students, teaching your children, Monday through Friday, 40 hours minimum a week, or however many hours children are in school. So again, if I'm a teacher, and I'm, for my own safety, I'm choosing to bring a firearm to school, but I'm assuming you would also be expected to stand up as a line of defense against any type of threat, whatever the case is, then I need to be compensated properly. Teachers don't get enough credit. Teachers do not get enough credit in this country. They do not. They tolerate a lot of disrespect from belligerent children, disrespectful children, mentally unstable children, ADHD children. They're the people outside of you, the parents, that your kids spend the most time with. Their friends and their teachers when they're in school. Again, elementary school, middle school, high school. It's the teachers that are the next authority figure outside of you, the parent. So I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence because, again, I see how it could go left, but I see how it could go right as well too. So I'm not completely opposed to the idea that teachers, specifically in Tennessee, because it looks like this is they're trying to pass this specifically in Tennessee. I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea, but it is something that we have to be extra cautious of. Because again, if I'm a student and I know, hey, Ms. Johnson has a gun, I get word that, hey, Ms. Johnson has a gun. It's either as a student, I'm going to chill, as you already should, be respectable to her. Students might try to steal it, take it, or the teacher could one day be fed up and start, waving a gun. I told you to sit down. I'm not going to say it again. Be quiet. So I see how it could go left, essentially, is what I'm saying, right? So what are your thoughts, man? What do you make of that? How would you feel if you send your child off to school and you know that the teacher has a gun? Would you feel any type of way? Would you feel safer that your child's teacher has a gun in the case of emergency? Or do you feel like that's something that could go left? I want to hear your thoughts. Leave them down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you on the next one.